Now, we had a safety car course. This was on lap 11, I believe.
Initially quite worrying from what I saw. It took him a while to establish what had happened.
Yeah, the first shots were, it went from being, we've got a yellow flag. Who's had a little moment here? And then the first shots of this big crash going on. So a bit concerning to see at first. Russell just a passenger.
Yes,
not
absolutely.
really anything he could do about that.
He was very unlucky. I've got him down here on my sheet, and it just says unlucky. Had the potential to do well. And initially, I thought that he had collected the side of Giovinazzi's car. So Giovinazzi had a little bit of a wobble, went off on the right-hand side, and then ricocheted off the tyre wall across the track and into the left. And I thought, oh, crikey, Russell's probably gone into the side of him. That looks like a heavy impact. And it still was a heavy impact. But I think one of his rear tyres came loose, and that took out Russell's front right tyre.
Yeah, a bit concerning that the tether has come off.
You don't see that very often,
A little bit concerning that he's lost that.
Yeah. Russell made a good point on social media. He said, this is exactly why we have the halo. Luckily, he didn't need it, but it's for cases like those where, in those few cases where the tether does fail and we have 15-kilo tyres bouncing around the track and drivers driving at 140 miles per hour into them, that you're reassured you've got that halo there for your protection.
But an unusual accident from Giovinazzi. Just kind of lost it all by himself. Not really ideal if he wants to be proving his mettle in that car and maybe showing himself off to Ferrari. I'm not really sure, but it's.
I think there might be other teams at the moment, but I get what you mean.
It's not a good show for his consistency, and again, he had a really good start. He was up 4 places on the first lap, but if you can't hold it together through the rest of the race,
did he not do exactly the same last year, but towards the end of the race?
Yes.
Did he not just lose it all by himself?
Don't think.
Was it last year or the year before?
The same place though.
No, it wasn't the same place. It was.
It was Pouhon. It was Pouhon last time,
which is obviously a faster, more difficult corner. But there was no other interference with that vehicle. It was all
by himself.
And he lost it and took himself out of the race. And he could have scored points that race. I think he was running in P9 or P10, which would have been great for him. But he just lost it all by himself and had a pretty bad accident back then. So Belgium hasn't been Giovinazzi's best track so far. I mean, he's crashed out twice in the last 2 years by himself.
Yeah.
And like I said, for Russell, just unfortunate that he collected that tyre. Did very well. Well, he was on the way to avoiding it, but it was just, like you said, just a passenger. No one could have avoided that. The Haas's did well to avoid them, but they were a second or two further back on the track, so they had time to react.
Yeah, they did well to avoid the debris in that. And of course, the safety car came out. They didn't red flag it, which I was kind of glad they didn't really.
Oh, I was surprised they didn't. I was kind of asking for a red flag with the amount of debris on the track.
There was a lot of debris on the track, and then obviously a few cars had to go through. But with the size of Spa and the lap time, once the safety car comes out, there's more than enough time to clear it.
True.
And I think
they
did a very good job. There's very good service roads at Spa. So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't red flag it. I think it was very possible for them to do what they did, and they did it.
I think if the accident had been within the top 5 cars, and we had another 15 cars to go through there under yellow flag conditions or under racing conditions, it would have been red flagged because you would have instantly shut down the race and prevented an accident. Because it was a fast part of the track. There isn't a slow part of Spa, to be honest. But given that it was the last couple of cars, I guess they knew that it was only the Haas drivers to go through. They had good sight of what had happened, and then they could yellow flag, get their track slowed down. And obviously the majority of people went on to box.